Alright, what's up everybody? We're back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today we're going to be talking about last night's NBA slate of games. We had a lot of games. I think we had everyone except for two teams play. I want to say the Bucks and Spurs didn't play, but everyone else played. Big night in the league. A lot of blowouts. A lot of big games. All the stuff like that. We're going to recap that here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. We are on the road to 500 subscribers, so if you do like the content, hitting the subscribe button would mean a whole lot to me. And yeah, link to my Twitter, TikTok, stuff like that in the description down below. And yeah, I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. Alright, first game we have, we're going with the Hawks and the Pacers. The Pacers absolutely run the Hawks out of the gym, winning 150 to 116. I think they said this is the third time this year, I want to say. Pacers put up 150 points in the game. Yeah, they scored the Hawks 38-24 in the first, then 40-30 in the second, then 39-29 in the third. And yeah, Pacers are now the hottest team in the league. They've won 6 in a row. They're up to 20-14, while the Hawks are 14-20. Just the Pacers bombed the Hawks. You know, looking at team stats, the Pacers shot 64% from the field in this game. The Hawks shot 43%. Pacers hit 19 threes. The Hawks hit 10 threes. Indiana had 50 assists, so the Hawks 21 assists as well. Just absolute dominance from Indiana. For the Pacers, Miles Turner finished with 27 and 5, shot 10 for 14 from the field. Tyrese Halliburton, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 18 assists, with only 2 turnovers. Only took 6 shots, but was absolutely dominant all of this game. I think they said in the last, 4 games, he's had 80 assists and only 4 turnovers. Absolute dominance there. Yeah, Pacers had 8 players scoring double figures. Bruce Brown at 17, Bennedict Mathurin at 18, Aaron Nesmith at 15, Jalen Smith and Buddy Hield at 11, and TJ McConnell even at 10 points and 10 assists off the bench. Yeah, Pacers just absolutely ran the Hawks off the court. The Hawks, they're not a good defense, but man, Pacers just absolutely ran them off the court. Whatever the Pacers wanted to get to, they could get to. I mean, you shoot 64% from the field in a game. You're most likely going to win that. But yeah, for the Hawks, 30 for DeJounte Murray. Everyone else kind of had a bad shooting night. Bogdanovich had 16 points. He was 3 for 14. Trae Young had 13 points. He was 4 for 18 and 1 for 11 from 3. Jalen Johnson had 12 and 8. Yeah, the Hawks, it was a very bad game for the Hawks, especially on the defensive end. I mean, I know their shot wasn't falling, but defensively, man, it was just horrible. This team is a horrible defense. The Pacers literally just did, and the Pacers are a really good offense too, but jeez, looked like they had the sliders up. It was bad, man. Next, we have the Jazz and the Celtics. Celtics won this game 126-90. So I'm kind of gonna get through the blowouts pretty quickly. The Jazz, there's another blowout. Celtics won 126-97. They outscored Utah 30-15 in the first, and 41-25 in the second, and it was GG's. From there, Boston now goes to 27-7. They're now 17-0 at home, while the Jazz fall to 16-20. Looking at team stats, Boston shot 43% from the field. Utah shot 36%. Celtics hit 17 threes. The Jazz hit just 6 threes in this one. Yeah, just dominance from Boston again on both ends. Celtics, Jason Tatum, 30 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, shot 6 for 12 from the field in just 25 minutes. Was doing that. 19 for Porzingis as well, 14 for Drew Holiday, 13 for Jaylen Brown and Sam Hauser, and then 10 and 7 for Derek White. Just dominance from the Celtics. They came in, they looked like the way better team than the Jazz did from the get-go. Hitting threes, defending. They were on there defensively against the free throw line as well. Porzingis and Tatum both hit over 10 plus free throws. And yeah, Boston just got an easy one. At home, they're a very tough team to beat. For the Jazz, 17-5-5 for Lauri Markkanen, 13 for Colin Sexton, 12 and 11 for John Collins, 12 for Keontae George off the bench, 11 for Taylor Horton-Tucker off the bench. Yeah, Utah didn't have an answer. Even though Utah has been playing pretty well recently, but they just don't have an answer. They just don't compare to the Boston Celtics. You know what I mean? Boston came out and was just, Sam Hauser was catching lobs. That's how it got to. That's the point it got to in this game, man. It was just Boston was running them out the court. Next, we have the Wizards and Cavaliers. The Cavs won this game 114-90. They outscored Washington 32-19 in the third, and that really just, put this game away. Cleveland goes to 20-15, while the Wizards fall to 6-28 on a 3-game losing streak. Looking at team stats, Cleveland shot 53% from the field. Washington shot 42%. The Cavs hit 16 threes. The Wizards hit just 9 threes. Cleveland out-assisted Washington 31-19, and I rebounded them 52-31, including 12 offensive boards. 26 for Donovan Mitchell, shot 8 for 15, 5 for 8 from 3, was hot early. Kind of let everyone else do their thing. Georgia Niang, 14 points, 9 rebounds, hit 4 threes off the bench. 12 and 12 for Jared Allen. He's been very good as the recent stretch without Evan Mobley. And Darius Garland, he's really stepped up. 11 and 11 assists for Karis LeVert off the bench, and 11 for Sam Merrill as well. Just dominance from the Cavaliers, They're passing the ball really well. I think they said in this last stretch of games, only the Pacers have more assists than them. Cavs are really moving the ball. Everyone's getting involved. Jared Allen has really stepped up big. Guys like Max Strus, Isaiah Okoro, Dean Wade doing their thing. Karis LeVert off the bench has been huge. Sam Merrill has been a bright spot. Craig Porter Jr., George Niang, everyone has really been locked in. The Cavs have gone on a really good stretch since, missing 2 of their top 3 players. They've really done it. But yeah, another great game last night for them. For the Wizards, 16 for Tyus Jones, shot 4 over 6 and 3, 15 and 7 for Bilal Coulibaly with 3 blocks. He's going to be a really good player. And 13 for Danny Avdija and Corey Kispert. Kuzma had just 9 points, shot 4 for 14. Jordan Poole hit 2 free throws in 23 minutes. Yeah, it was a bad night from the Wizards, but usually it's a bad night for the Wizards, Next we have Thunder and Nets. Nets win this game 124 to 115. They outscored OKC 39-21 in the first and 36-26 in the second quarter, blowing out the Thunder in the first half. They went at halftime up by 28 points. OKC did make a little bit comeback. They outscored Brooklyn 36-23 in the fourth quarter, but they just didn't have enough time, and the Nets just hit timely shots when they needed to. They go to 16-20 now. They end their 5-game losing streak, while OKC loses back-to-back games. They fall to 23-11. Looking at team stats, OKC actually shot 54% from the field. Brooklyn shot 45%. The Nets hit 14 threes. Thunder hit just 9 threes. Brooklyn was 28 for 33 from the free throw line. OKC was 16 for 24. And Brooklyn rebounded OKC 51-36 and had 20 offensive rebounds, which is a big thing in this game. Of course, OKC is not a team that gives up a lot of offensive rebounds. Brooklyn just was dominating them on the glass. For Brooklyn, 23 and 13 for Nick Claxton, shot 8 for 11, 7 for 10 from the free throw line. Again, he dominated this game. He's a big reason why they won this one. Just being in the paint. Chad Holmgren, a great defender down low, but after that, Nick Claxton just no one really could stand up to Nick Claxton for OKC. 23 for Spencer Dinwiddie as well. Cam Thomas had 19 points. He's been struggling the past 2 games. He went 0 for 21 in the past few games, and then he had 19 in this one, 17 from Mikal Bridges. And Dennis Smith Jr., 13, 12, and 7 with 2 steals off the bench. He provided a lot of energy as well. Big game for the Nets. They needed this one. They've been on a big losing streak. They have not looked good in the past 2 weeks, but got a good win against a really good team. Brought a lot of energy, bringing it on the glass. They had 2 players with double-figure rebounds. And bringing it to the OKC Thunder. It's usually a team that brings it to Brooklyn. Usually a team that brings it to others, but Brooklyn did it to them. For OKC, 34-9-6 for Shea, shot 11 for 19 from the field, 25-5 for J-Dub, 17-6 for Chet Holmgren, 13-8-5 for Josh Giddey, 12 for Lou Dort. I just had a tough shooting day from 3. They've been one of the most efficient 3-point shooting teams in the league. Just wasn't like that last night. They were 9 for 31. And then again on the glass, they just don't. They're just not a good rebounding team, especially on the offensive end. And Brooklyn took advantage of it, So shout out to the Nets for playing to their strengths. Next we have the Knicks and Sixers on ESPN. The Knicks win this game 128-92, a blowout. And there's another blowout. The Knicks outscored Philly 41-25 in the second, and then 35-16 in the fourth to put this game away. Knicks go to 20-15. They are 3-0 since the OG Anunoby trade. The Sixers fall to 23-11. Looking at team stats, New York shot 48% from the field. Philly shot 41%. The Knicks hit 18 threes in this game, while Philly hit just 6. The Knicks just shot the lights out from the get-go. Knicks were shooting the lights out. 29 for Jalen Brunson, shot 11 for 24 for 9 from 3. He was amazing in this one. Quentin Grimes as well. Great to see him have a great game. 19-8, hit 4 for 9 from 3. He was a plus 37 in this one. Great to see him. He has not had a really good season so far, but now with RJ IQ gone, he really needs to step up, and he did last night. 17, 6, and 5, 2 steals, 2 blocks to the Hartenstein. Tweeted this out. He's going to get a nice bag this offseason. Coming in from Mitchell Robinson as a starting center. He's been amazing, rebounding the ball defensively. He just does so many good things, 15 from Miles McBride off the bench. He hit 4 threes in the first quarter of this game. He took over, is trying to substitute for IQ. Different play style, but great game last night. If he is hitting 4 threes, you got a really good chance of winning games. 14 for DiVincenzo, he hit 4 threes as well. 11 for OG Anunoby. And then Josh Hart, 10, 15, and 6 off the bench. He was a plus 46 in this game. The Knicks, a great game. All around team win. The bench, Hart, Grimes, McBride doing their thing. OG, making his impact felt. Isaiah Hartenstein doing his thing, DiVincenzo hitting threes. And a game where Julius Randle had a pretty tough one. He was only 1 for 11 from the field. In a game where Julius Randle, your second best player, sometimes your first best player, on some nights only hits one shot, and you blow out the 76ers. I mean, that's a great one. Shout out to the rest of the team, for doing that. For Philly, they just didn't really have it tonight. 30 and 10 for Joel, 27 and 9 assists from Tyrese Maxey, 15 for Kelly Oubre. After that, they didn't have anybody else. Tobias Harris left this game early. Nick Batum didn't score. The bench didn't really provide anything. Just the Sixers didn't have energy, and the Knicks did. Knicks had a lot of it. So shout out to the Knicks, man. It's crazy because if you look at the Eastern Conference standings, I'm going to talk about a few more of these teams that played last night as well. But it's kind of funny to see how the Eastern Conference is kind of dividing itself up. Like, you got the top 3, Celtics, Bucks, Sixers are comfortably in the top 3. Then you have a little drop, and then you have 4 through 8. The Pacers, Heat, Magic, Cavs, Knicks are all like the same. The Pacers are 20 and 14. The Heat are 20 and 15. Magic are 20 and 15. Cavs are 20 and 15. Knicks are 20 and 15. They're all 4 through 8 is literally half a game in between each other. And then you have a big drop, and then you have the rest of the East. Then you have like the play-ins, like the 9, 10, 11, 12. Nets, Bulls, Hawks, Raptors are all kind of in the same boat. They're all 1.5 games in between each other. And then you have a gap, and then you have the bottom 3. Hornets, Wizards, Pistons are just bad. It's crazy. Like, the Knicks are the 8 seed right now. The Knicks are closer to being the 3 seed than the 9 seed. Think about that. That's crazy. The Knicks are only 3.5 games behind the 3 seed, and they're 4.5 games above the 9 seed. So it's just showing, kind of like standings, and it's just kind of funny to see, kind of how the East is dividing up into like the tiers. But good win, big win, from the New York Knicks. They're 3-0 in the OG Anunoby era, I guess. Next we have the Clippers and Pelicans. Clippers win this game 111-95. It's a very close one to start. But then LA outscored the Pelicans 30-15 in the second, 36-27 in the third, and eventually took this game over. The Clippers now go to 22-12. They have won 5 in a row. They're the 4th seed in the West. So the Pelicans fall to 21-15. Dominant win from the LA Clippers. They're doing that a lot recently. Looking at team stats, the Clippers shot 49% from the field. Pelicans shot just 36%. The Clippers hit 15 threes. Pelicans hit 12 threes. Clippers out assisted New Orleans 20-22, and rebounded them 50-43. For the Clippers, 24 for Paul George, shot 6 for 10 from the field, 9 for 15 from the field, or 6 for 10 from 3, 9 for 15 from the field. Just a dominant game for him. Kawhi, 19-9, 15-8 for Zubac. He was big in this game. 13 for Norman Powell off the bench. James Harden had 13 assists. Just a dominant game from the Clippers. From the second quarter on, they took over this game though. Paul George and Kawhi was hitting their shots. Zubac had a big game. James Harden facilitating and doing his thing. Russell Westbrook and Powell bringing energy off the bench. Just a great all-around game from the Clippers. They've been dominating as of recently, ever since that 16 losing streak. They have been they've been insane. They're a scary team. They're a really scary team. When everyone's going, Paul George and Kawhi are comfortably, hitting shots and doing their thing on the defensive end. James Harden is kind of putting everything into place. Norman Powell, Russell Westbrook are bringing a whole lot of energy and buckets off the bench. Like, this is a team that's really, really scary. For the Pelicans, they just didn't really have it. They did not shoot well from the field. They didn't shoot well from Jordan Hawkins came in the final 6 minutes in garbage time and put up as many points as anyone else did on the Pelicans. So, they just didn't have a tough shooting night from 3 from the field. Defensively, the Clippers were locked in, and New Orleans just really couldn't make it up. They scored 95 points. So shout out to the Clippers. Easy win for them. Next, we had Timberwolves Rockets. The Wolves won this game 122-95. It's kind of a closer game-ish. First 3 quarters, it was like Timberwolves were by 9, 10, 11. In the fourth quarter, they outscored Houston 38-23. That made it look like a beating. Minnesota goes to 25-9. Rockets fall to 17-16. At team stats, Minnesota shot 52% from the field. Houston shot 40%. Minnesota out-assisted Houston 31-18, and out-rebounded them 52-38. For Minnesota, 24-3-5 for Anthony Edwards, shot 8 for 17 from the field. Great game from him. Cat, 22-8-6. He had a big fourth quarter to kind of help seal this game for Minnesota. 16 for Jaden McDaniels, 16 for Naz Reid off the bench, 13-12 with 2 blocks for Rudy Gobert, and then 11 for Nickeil Alexander-Walker off the bench. Just a dominant win for Minnesota. Defensively, they're locked in. Moving the ball as well. They had 4 players with 5 or more assists in this game. They're moving the ball. They've been moving around a lot as of recently, and everybody getting involved. Defensively, they were locked in, just doing all the other thing, just dominating this game. Dominating the game in the fourth quarter. They really just, said, all right, let's end this team, and they did. For Houston, 20 for Jalen Green, 19-5 for Alperen Sengun, 16 for Jabari Smith, 11 for Cam Whitmore off the bench. After like really Jalen Green and Alperen Şengün, no one else really came with it. Jabari Smith had 16 and 9, but he also had a lot of turnovers. Fred VanVleet had just 7 and 8 assists. Jason Tate didn't score. The bench didn't really provide much besides Cam Whitmore, you know. So yeah, Houston just couldn't really do anything to this Minnesota team. Minnesota, I mean, the number 1 defense in the league. You know, Alperen Şengün was doing his thing. Jalen Green was hitting shots. It was just no one else really could get it going for Houston and really provide that third spark, you know, to give Houston maybe a chance in this one. But that's just Minnesota being dominant on the defensive end. Next, we have the Hornets and the Bulls. The Bulls win this game 104-91. Bulls go to 16-21. The Hornets fall to 8-25. Big game for Chicago. LaVine and Vucevic back. It's probably the healthiest they've been in like 2 months or something. This is Zach LaVine's first game since November 30th. Looking at team stats, Chicago shot 54% for the field. Hornets shot 40%. The Bulls out-assisted Charlotte 29-20 as well for the Bulls. 22, 10, and 6 for Kobe White. Shot 7 for 12 for the field. Another great game from Kobe. 17 for DeMar DeRozan. Zach LaVine in 30 minutes off the bench. 15, 5, and 4. Shot 6 for 11 from the field. He had a pretty solid game. You know, had a couple shots, getting to the rim, you know, doing his thing. 12 for Ayo Dosunmu. 11 for Vucevic off the bench, and then 10 rebounds for Andre Drummond with 3 blocks. Just a great game for Chicago. You know, it's funny. It's great to see them get fully healthy. LaVine and Vucevic back. You know, have the full team. And now, interested to see how the rest of the team looks now with Zach LaVine back. You know, they've been playing really well without him, and now they're integrating him back into the lineup. We'll see how guys like Kobe White and, you know, Alex Caruso when he comes back, and guys like that, how they look. You know, how they play with Zach. You know, for Charlotte, 28 for Miles Bridges, 15, 7 for Terry Rozier, 13 for Cody Martin, 10 for Nick Smith Jr. off the bench. That should give Nick Smith Jr. some more look. You know, he's been playing pretty well. When he does get into some games and play, like he plays well. So Hornets should give Nick Smith Jr. a look. Why not? I mean, you're 8-25. You know, there's nothing really left to play for. But yeah, great win from the Bulls. It was kind of a close game throughout the first 3, and then kind of the end of the third, start of the fourth, they kind of pulled away. Next, we have Portland and Dallas. Dallas beats Portland 139-103. Without Luka Doncic, Mavs said, we're good, and absolutely dominated this game. They outscored them 38-26 in the first, 40-16 in the third quarter. That was big. Dallas goes to 21-15. Portland falls to 9-25. Team stats, Dallas shot 58% from the field. Portland shot 41%. The Mavs hit 17 threes. Portland hit just 13 threes. Dallas 24-9-5 for Kyrie. Shot 10 for 18. Played a really good game. You know, it was just not really, you know, he was scoring. He was also facilitating. He was also defending. Like, he was just doing all those things, keeping, you know, being the star of this team. Especially with Luka out, he was doing all the other things. He played really good. 19-9-9 for Jaden Hardy. Great to see from him. You know, he's kind of up and down this year. Great to see a really good game from him. 19 for Tamari Jr. off the bench. 14, 5, and 5 for Josh Green. 14 for AJ Lawson off the bench. And then 12 for Derrick Jones Jr. Mavs are really short-handed. Only really played an 8-man rotation until the fourth quarter. They're up by 30. And then Max Prosper and Brandon Williams and Greg Brown got into the game. But yeah, they were only really playing like an 8-man rotation. And they dominated in the 8-man rotation. For Portland, 18 for Jeremy Grant, 17 and 10 for Scoot Henderson. Had just only one turnover. And no fouls. So yeah, really nice to see Scoot do that. He had a pretty solid game. 16 for Duop Reef. He's been playing pretty solid for Portland this year. 15 for Shane Sharp, and then 10 for Chris Murray and Tumani Kamara. Yeah, Anthony Simons had a bad night. 1 for 8 from the field, 6 points. It was just a very embarrassing game for Portland. Dallas just came in with the bench unit kind of and just embarrassed the Blazers. Next we had Heat and Suns. Suns won this game 113-97. It was a very close first half. Then Phoenix outscored Miami 32-20 in the third. It kept it on until the fourth quarter. Really good win from Phoenix, especially with Kevin Durant out. They go to 19-16. The Heat fall to 20-15. Looking at team stats, Phoenix shot 51% for the field. The Heat shot 41%. Phoenix hit 14 threes. Phoenix hit 14 threes. The Heat hit 10 threes. Phoenix, Grayson Allen, 31 points, tied the Suns franchise record, 9 3-pointers in this one. He was hot from the start. He had like 7 in the first half. He was just on fire, you know, from 3, and that's big for Phoenix. You know, Bradley Beal had a great game, 25, 8, and 9, 25 and 10 for Devin Booker. Just a great game from Phoenix all around. You know, Grayson Allen hitting his shots, Beal and Booker being the guys that Phoenix needs them to be. Drew Eubanks even had 11 points off the bench. Just a great all-around team game for Phoenix on both ends. You know, for Miami, Bam at 28 and 11. Kevin Love at 20. He had like 15 in the first quarter. Kind of slowed down from there. 10 for Jaime Jaquez, 10, 8, 10 for Josh Richardson. Yeah, it was a tough game for Miami. You know, it looked like it was just Bam and Kevin Love versus the Suns. You know, Tyler Hero was 4 for 17. No Jimmy again. Like, no one else really came to play besides Bam and Kevin Love. They looked kind of tired out there. And Phoenix came in and did their thing. Grayson Allen was just shooting the nets off the rim, in the sun. So, yeah, shout out to Phoenix for the win there. Next, we had the Magic and the Nuggets. This is a really good game. The Magic outscored the Nuggets 41-31 in the third quarter. Had a big second half. Paolo Banchero, Jalen Suggs really putting this game away. Orlando wins 122-120. Orlando goes to 20-15. They end their 3-game losing streak, while the Nuggets go to 25-12. Look at that team stats. Orlando shot 50% from the field. Denver shot 51%. The Magic gets 17 threes in this game, while Nuggets hit 9. 2 games in a row where Orlando hit a lot of threes. They hit a franchise record like 24 against the Kings the other day. Magic were also 23 for 34 from the free throw line. Nuggets were 15 for 19. For Orlando, Paolo Banchero, 32, 10, and 11, shot 8 for 21, 15 for 19 from the free throw line. Just had a career high 43 points the other day, and then follows it up with his first career triple-double. Just amazing stuff from Paolo. He's a future star. I mean, he's amazing. He had a great game. Jalen Suggs had a career night, 27 points at 7-3. Shout out to Jalen Suggs, really turning his career around, having a great season. Cole Anthony had 23 off the bench, and then 19 and 11 from Mo Wagner. We had a lot of injuries for Orlando. No Wendell Carter, no Franz Wagner, no Goga Badate even. Like, they had a lot of injuries. They had Trevin Queen and Caleb Houston playing a lot of minutes. Like, Trevin Queen closed out this game for Orlando, and they still got it done, man. The Magic are tough, man. They play hard. They play kind of a grit and grind style of game where they're not a crazy explosive offense. They're just going to defend. They're going to defend. They're going to force a lot of turnovers, get to the free throw line a lot. They're just going to muck up the game. That's what they do. And they did a great job against Denver last night, especially late, in the third quarter when Jokic sat and they put the bench unit in. Orlando dominated the bench unit. It was just a great game from the Magic. For Denver, 29-4-8 for Nikola Jokic, 22 for Michael Porter Jr. He hit 4 threes, 27-9 for Jamal Murray. He was 9 for 23, 16 for Aaron Gordon, 11 for Reggie Jackson off the bench. Didn't really have any answer. Had a lot of late turnovers. Orlando did a great job, of forcing turnovers. They just forced a lot of turnovers at the end, and Denver just couldn't stop fouling. Orlando's a team that gets to the free throw line, as good as any other team in the NBA does. And Denver just could not stop fouling and putting Orlando at the free throw line to give easy points. But great win from Orlando. Next we had the Pistons and Warriors. Warriors win this game 113-109. I look at the Warriors are supposed to just kind of cruise to a win, but then it happened again where the last 6 minutes of the game, Detroit fought back. They took the lead at one point, but then Steph Curry closed out the Pistons. The Warriors go to 17-18. Pistons fall to 3-32. Looking at team stats, Golden State shot 46% from the field. Detroit shot 44% or 45%. The Warriors hit 16 threes. Pistons hit 13 threes. Warriors were 21 for 25 from the free throw line. Pistons were just 8 for 10. For Golden State, 26, 6, and 4 for Steph. Shot 7 for 19, 4 for 12 from 3. Had a tough shooting night, but then the last few minutes, he took over this game. Just say, you know what? I'm going to just win this game myself. Put the team on his back, and had a bunch of big threes to help win this game. 19 for Clay. Darius Saric had 17 off the bench. He had a good game. 11 for Jonathan Kuminga, who played 36 minutes in this game. After the whole I lost faith in Steve Kerr thing. Steve Kerr, I knew he had to play a lot of minutes tonight. Steve Kerr couldn't bench him again. They had to play him a lot of minutes, and he did pretty solid in his minutes. 11, 5, and 5 for Brandon Podziemski, 11 and 9 for Trace Jackson-Davis, the young guys stepping up big. And yeah, good win from Golden State. Even though it looked like they were going to blow the game, and honestly, I was kind of hoping to see if they blew the game just to see what would happen the next day. If the Warriors would have blew that game, it would have been funny to see. But the Warriors got the job done. But fortunately, wasn't a great game. Chris Paul broke his hand, fractured his hand. He's gonna have surgery next week. Who knows how long he's gonna be out for? Which is another big loss. Golden State already has Draymond out and stuff like that. So another big loss for Golden State. For Detroit, 35-3 for Cade Cunningham. Shot 13 for 22. Had a tough shooting night from 3, 1 for 7. But yeah, he was doing his thing. 18 for Kevin Knox off the bench. 13 and 12 for Jalen Duren. 13 for Alex Burks off the bench. 12 for Bojan Bogdanovic. He had a tough shooting night as well. 5 for 19. And Jaden Ivey had 12 points. So he had a couple turnovers late in this game. That were big for Detroit. But yeah, they fought hard. Pistons fight hard. Just they couldn't get over the hump of Steph Curry. Next are the Raptors and Kings. Kings win this game 135-130. Kings were up big early in this game, and the Raptors had a big third quarter and fourth quarter comeback. But the Kings eventually put this game away, led by the reigning clutch player of the year, De'Aaron Fox. Kings go to 21-13. Raptors fall to 14-21. Team stats, Toronto actually shot 54% from the field. Kings shot 52%, but Sacramento hit 21 threes. Raptors hit just 13 threes in this one. For Sacramento, 24, 15, and 11 for Domantas Sabonis. 11 for 16 from the field. He did foul out late in this game, but it didn't really matter. Sabonis, be dominating. You know, he's having another great year. He probably will make the All-Star team again this year. Who knows? You know, it's going to be very tough in the Western Conference to make that All-Star team. 24 for De'Aaron Fox as well. Great game from him. 18 and 12 for Keegan Murray. He was 4 for 4 from 3. 16 for Harrison Barnes. 15 and 9 assists from Malik Monk off the bench. 12 for Trey Lyles off the bench. Chris Duarte had 10 points. Just, yeah, a really good all-around team game for Sacramento, even though they almost let up the lead. But the Kings eventually hit their free throws. They got the job done. For Toronto, 25 and 8 from Mayor quickly. Shot 6 for 17. That last shot, I hope that wasn't what the game plan was. Like, the last shot, the Raptors were down 3 with 9 seconds left. The last shot was Mayor quickly from the logo, taking a deep 3 over Chris Duarte with like 5 seconds left. So, I don't know what that was. 24 and 6 for Scotty Barnes. Raptors had 8 players scoring double figures. You know, so great, all good all-around team game from them. You know, just got off to a slow start. Couldn't make it up at the end. You know, but the Kings got a win. And the final game we had, Grizzlies and Lakers on ESPN. Grizzlies win this game 127-113. Lakers got off to a great start in this game, but then the Grizzlies slowly fought their way back in the second quarter. Third quarter was very close. And then the fourth quarter, Memphis outscored the Lakers 33-19. Grizzlies go to 12-23. Lakers fall to 17-19. They've lost 4 games in a row, are now the 11th seed in the Western Conference. Looking at team stats, Memphis shot 54% from the field. Lakers shot 49%. The Grizzlies hit 23 threes, while Lakers hit just 10 threes in this game. For the Grizzlies, 31 and 9 for Jaren Jackson with 3 blocks. He shot 11 for 14, 5 for 6 and 3. Was flamethrower out there. 29 for Marcus Smart. He hit 8 threes in this game. 24-5 and a career high 13 assists for Desmond Bane. He hit 5 threes. And then 21, 7 and 7 for John Morant. Zaire Williams also had 15 points off the bench. Bismack Biyombo had 10 rebounds. Just an amazing game from Memphis all around. You know, I mean, Jaren. I mean, we get 13 threes combined from Jaren and Marcus Smart. You know, like, you're probably going to win that game. That's big. Desmond Bane didn't really get his buckets to the end. You know, he was just facilitating out there, you know, which was big. And then Ja doing his thing. Zaire Williams provided a lot of energy on both ends as well off the bench, especially in the fourth quarter. Just a great all-around team win for Memphis, you know, showing like, hey, we're back. Ja's back. Marcus Smart is back. And now, you know, get this team rolling, you know. But for the Lakers, that was a tough loss. That was a really tough loss. Especially, they came out hot. They had so many chances, and just the fourth quarter, they collapsed. You know, 32, 5 and 7 for LeBron. He had 5 steals. 31 for AD. 19, 7 and 12 for Austin Reeves. Taurean Prince had 10. Christian Wood had 11. But that was a tough loss. Just the fourth quarter, the offense looked bad. A lot of bad offensive possessions. Defensively, they just couldn't really do anything either. I mean, the Grizzlies, compared to them, they hit a lot of tough threes, especially Desmond Bane and Marcus Smart late in this game. Had a couple tough threes to kind of put the game away. But yeah, that was embarrassing. That was a tough loss for the Lakers. That was a really tough loss. And they got to make moves. Rob Pelinka, it's your time to shine. They got to make some moves. This team is just not good enough. 17-19. They lost 4 in a row. They're now looking at the 11th seed in the West. You know, like, Rob Pelinka, like, they're only a game above the Utah Jazz. They're only a game better than the Utah Jazz. The Lakers, in January, they're only a game above. They're only 1 game better than the Utah Jazz. Like, that's embarrassing for this team. But yeah, Rob Pelinka, it's your turn. You got to do something. Whether it's fire Darvin Ham or make trades or both. You know, something's got to happen. Something's got to happen because this team is bad. LeBron said it. The team just sucks right now. That's what it is. But yeah, it's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you enjoyed the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I really appreciate it. Really helps out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.